everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a video where I use Winsor Newton Cotman watercolors that I just got not too long ago. If you check out my last video, I play with the colors, I swatch them, and really get a feel for how they work. And so this is my first full painting using these watercolors, and they're really great. I love them a lot. So my idea for this painting came from a tattoo design that I was working on for someone, and they already had an existing tattoo with birds flying. They were just silhouettes, they weren't detailed or anything, and they wanted me to incorporate a really thorough design that included these birds. And their request was like for galaxy or space and planets and things like that. So one of my first ideas was to have the birds hanging onto a string, and on the end of that string was the planets. And they didn't really like that idea too much. They liked other ideas that I had better. So I kind of set that aside, and I kept thinking about it, so I wanted to make it into a painting, and I have a few sketches in my sketchbook working on this idea before I finally did the painting. I really struggled with placement of the planets and the birds to make them to make the whole thing feel balanced. But after a lot of sketching and erasing, I ended up getting there. Please excuse the mess on my table. There's generally a lot of stuff going on. In the top left I had the sketch for reference, which I ended up changing a lot of the details and the placement of things from the sketch. And I'll show the sketch here. And then on the far left is all the other stuff my mom got from a Hobby Lobby clearance. I put 3 birds for the sun because it's such a giant rock that it just wouldn't make sense for one bird to be holding it. And I thought it would be dynamic, and I thought it was interesting to have extra birds for Saturn because, separate birds had to hold up the rings for the planet. So here I'm applying liquid frisket from Blick, and this stuff is really cool. It's like I guess like a liquid rubber kind of material that you can paint onto your paper, and what it does is it rejects water. So when you paint over it with watercolors, it doesn't get to the paper. So it's great for keeping white spaces. And I wanted the birds to be white and the string, so such a small detail really needed this stuff. I didn't trust my hand enough to paint really straight, fine lines around the birds and the string. Plus it just makes it easier. You save a little bit of time. You can do big washes without ruining the details that you have set in place. And the kind that I have is from Blick. So we finally get to the painting, so I go ahead and mix a black. As you can see, I used alizarin crimson, cadmium yellow, and ultramarine. I did use a little bit of purple lake just because I'm obsessed with it. And so I go ahead and I do a big wash over the whole thing, and I made a few mistakes in this painting. There was also some stressful stuff going on while I was making this painting, which doesn't help. So I ended up painting over all the other planets and ignoring the fact that I didn't want the planets to have this grayish color. But it ended up working out in the end because the paint picks up so well. It's easy to quote-unquote erase this paint using a damp paintbrush. One of the really nice things I noticed was that the color started to granulate. So I'll do a close-up here. It spread out and you could see the ultramarine, you could see the purple lake, you could see all of it kind of like pushing out. And I didn't keep it in the painting, but I just thought it was really nice to see and to share with you guys. So I went over it with another layer of black. I messed up again and had to go back and erase, so to say. And then I skipped this part, but basically I used lemon yellow and cadmium yellow and a little bit of cadmium red pale and alizarin crimson to paint the sun. And then I went in and painted the planets in black and white because I really wanted this to be have like an illustration vibe. I didn't want it to be too detailed, too realistic. And I really liked the pop of that yellow sun. And for the planets, I did use, and I think for the background actually, I did use lamp black. It was still a Winsor Newton Cotman, but it didn't come in the set. It was a watercolor tube that I had to buy for school a few years back, and I just haven't used it. It's so satisfying to peel off the frisket from the paper. So after I peeled all of it off, I went in with a jelly roll pen to put in the bow ties and to clean up some of the lines. And then I went in with a micron pen to make the strings a little bit thinner. And then finally with some yellow paint to make the strings in front of the sun a little bit thinner. Thank you for stopping by and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to subscribe and like my video, and check out some more if you have some time. Have a great day.